Good evening, ladies and germs. I'm your host, Cubby Jaxon. Welcome to the Cubby Jaxon Show. This is a little runoff we wanted to do with the cordless mics. We got the fancy little lapel deals going. Wanted to make sure all the sound was good and that we had a pretty cute video for you. And now it is Tuesday, and we're going to start doing a Wednesday show. I'm probably going to start it tomorrow, so I'll have Wednesdays and Saturdays. News just goes by so fast and everything changes so quick. And again, we do the good stories too. I don't ever want you to think this show is completely political. We do fun shows, we do animal stories, we do anything creative and fun that we might find because we want to be as engaging as possible. So again, welcome to the Cubby Jaxon Show. And as always, I have my beautiful co-host, Mama Bear, with me.
Hi, Cubby.
Hi, darling. Hi, darling.
Hi. Whoops. Hi,
Over
Bear.
here.
Hi.
Hi. All right, so we're going to get into a story here real quick. So the U.S. Navy got a distress call, and from this vessel, and they sank 3 attacking Houthi ships in the Red Sea on Sunday, the military said. This was Sunday that just passed. Early Sunday morning, the Maersk Hangzhou, a Singapore flagship container, issued a second distress call in less than 24 hours, reporting being under attack by 4 Iranian-backed Houthi small boats. The U.S. Central Command said on X, formerly Twitter, the ships, which originated from the Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen, fired upon the merchant vessel and contracted security team on the other container ship returning from the Houthi ship. They all took fire. So the helicopters from the USS Eisenhower, which has been stationed in the area since October after Hamas attacked Israel, responded to the distress call. And I wish I could show you the picture on here because the helicopters were just badass. And it goes on to say the incident comes after the USS Lebanon destroyer and the F-18 Super Hornet fighter jets from Eisenhower carried to strike out. The group shot down a 10-hour barrage of anti-ship ballistic missiles and drones launched by the Houthi last week. Now, this was the battleship, not the helicopters. The Iran-backed Houthis have been increasing their attacks by the Red Sea since October 7th. The militant group had declared support for Hamas after it attacked Israel, and 1,200 people died on that day. And God bless the U.S. military, man. It's a shame the command is having issues, but them boys and girls, man, they work their tails off to keep us safe, and I just hope they keep that in mind, you know.
Right.
Again, military is a big thing in our family. You know, my dad and my grandpa was in the military, and my wife's brother is retired military, and her nephew is in the military, Daniel.
Yep, he sure is.
Go Daniel.
He's in Texas now.
Yeah, getting out of military school. Officer school, yes, even more impressive.
Going to be flying those jets.
Yes. I found this cute little thing. I know conservatives always try to fall back on Ronald Reagan. Now, these are Ronald Reagan quotes that I got, the top 10. And I can tell you, just by reading some of these, the guy had an hourglass. Number 10, and listen carefully. We must reject the idea that every time a law is broken, society is guilty rather than the lawbreaker. It's time to restore American values that each individual is accountable for his or her actions. He must have read that to an hourglass because that's what I would say today, huh?
Yep. Gotta love Ronald Reagan quotes.
All right, number 9. If we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be one nation gone under. And that's the truth, too. Number 8, trust but verify. I kind of do the same thing. I trust, but you do want to verify, especially when you're doing stories. If you find it on multiple platforms, it ain't your fault. But again, when you're doing a show like ours and everything's current and trying to flow well, you really want to try to stay current. That's why we're adding the Wednesday show. You can also, if you have Rumble or YouTube on your television app, you can type in Cubby Jaxon, and it'll pop right up our show, so you can watch it on your television as well. Number 7, when you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat. Okay, Trump 24, that's the motto. Make America great again, and make our terrorist people overseas feel the heat, man. They got to feel the heat. Right?
They got to have that fear.
Where's your drink? Why am I the only one drinking here today? Here, happy camper. Happy
some
park.
of yours? Thank you.
Sure. Married, folks. Married. You're right, I'm wrong, and I love you. All right.
Mine's gone.
She's a pro. She's a pro. Okay, government's view of the economy could be summed up in a few short phrases. If it moves, tax it. If it keeps moving, regulate it. And if it stops moving, subsidize it. Man, I tell you, when you read somebody's comments, it's literally like he was reading through a crystal ball. Would you like to read the last 5?
Sure.
All right, number 5.
Thanks, Cubby. Freedom is never more than one generation away. That is so true.
That's
away
where we're
from
at.
Extinction.
That's where we're at. The hardworking class to the Tide Pod eaters. Yeah, that's where we're at.
We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. That has to be taught. It starts in the home.
Yeah. Everything starts from a young age, right? Like they always say, kids aren't born with hate; they learn it. And I think the same goes for in the schools, man. I mean, parents are lucky to spend 8 hours with their kids a day, and then you send them off to school for 8 hours, trusting that adult is a like-minded individual that don't want to hurt children or have their genitals cut off or teach them it's okay to be gay. I mean, it's, and I don't think anybody would have a problem with that if they were over 18. Like, I don't know too many people that would, you're 19 years old, you want to go in there and butcher knife your junk? Hey, man, more power to you. But telling that to 6- and 7-year-olds is
you need to be an adult.
Yeah, California has that law. 12 years old, you can get altered, physically as a child without even having parents' consent.
Well, I'm sure there's a bunch of kids that someday may regret that decision.
And that's California, though, man. I mean, they got today. I think yesterday was the first day where the illegal immigrants are getting all free health care, and I liked it because it's free to them. But you know who pays for that? The federal government. And how are they paying that?
And you know who doesn't get free health care?
Yeah.
Us. All right, number 4, we can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone.
That's a fact, Jack.
And that's, Cubby, you're always saying be kind, love one another. And it is true. We all need to help each other, but there has to be a way we can help each other with making it fair and making it help the nation at the same time.
You try to think that you can meet somebody halfway, but, when you watch it, like my buddy Dan Bongino always says, bring the receipts. And I find it funny that when you watch all the, as they say, right-wing stuff, but when you watch it, there's actually video clips or a memo. And when you watch it over on the left, because I do read some of the New York Times and the Washington Post, and I try to keep up well-rounded on what I'm talking about. And it's over there, everything is a right-wing, like it's right-wing. So if it's a free speech platform like X or a free speech platform like Rumble, they say those are the most right-wing social media platforms on the planet. And they're free speech platforms. So, just read between the lines, guys. I mean, if it's not a free speech platform and it's CNN or MSNBC or the network programs, they parrot everything. You can go from channel to channel and hear the same thing over and over and over and over. But again, they don't bring the receipts, man. There's no paperwork. There's no evidence like they have on Joe Biden all over the place.
And with that, people need to want to help themselves, too, not just give me.
Yeah, that's the truth. I think if welfare was hard to get as veteran benefits, we wouldn't have this problem. Right. More people would be working.
Number 3, peace is not absence of conflict. It is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means.
That's true. That means if you really, really want to punch somebody in the face, just slap them. No, I'm kidding.
Number 2, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they are ignorant, it's just that they know so much that isn't so. By watching CNN nonstop for years and years and years, getting the wrong information.
Yeah, it really is. Information is the key. And again, I draw it all back to school, and the people on the Hill. I mean, if you can't take care of kids and old people, that's your problem. And they do it all the time, man. Like I said, I don't know if it's blackmail. I don't know if it's you owe somebody so much that you have to do these things once you get to a certain level. But again, I mean, we're week to week, like I say. This is a new podcast. We're doing our best. But I think when you get under that certain plateau of income, I mean, every little thing matters, man. Groceries up 25%, fuel's up almost 40%. And they take all of our tax dollars, which, you get taxed when you get your check. You get taxed when you buy something. You get taxed when you sell something. It ends up being with the inflation now. It's got to be around 40% that we actually don't get to spend of our own money. And what money they do get, they want to send it to everywhere else or put it into these programs on, mutilating children or just whatever it may be, that just you just see it, you just look at it and think it's just so far off the wall that we have veterans sleeping on the streets, we have kids sleeping on the streets, we have people dying because they can't afford to eat. The basic things, your food and water, man. I mean, I don't know. It's just heartbreaking to me as an American.
I saw a guy's shirt in the store the other day, and it said, "Working hard to help support the lazy." And that's another unfortunate part.
That
like
wasn't
I was
in Matthew,
saying.
was it? I don't think that was in Matthew.
No, it was in the grocery store.
Oh, okay.
I saw a shirt.
God bless.
And number one, the most terrifying words in the English language are,
pay attention.
I'm from the government and I'm here to help you.
Yes, that is the downfall of mankind, is the government. We have an extremely beautiful country here, and I try to put it in perspective to people. My friends get it. I mean, people that generally message me or email me through our cubbyjaxon@gmail.com email, I just reply back that if you can't be kind, be gone. I mean, that's pretty much where I stand at. And I also put it at, again, the taxes, man. I mean, if you can't fix the roads, the bridges, the schools, the airports, the homeless problem, I mean, we sent them over, close to $200 billion. I mean, $200 billion fixes everything in this country. Everything. I mean, from drug addiction to domestic abuse to the learning problems that our children are having, especially from the COVID test. Taking them out of school for 2 years in some of these states didn't help anything. It didn't help anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids that are very delayed, especially the younger ones who didn't have that socialization.
Yes.
Between age 1 and 4, because they were home for, COVID restrictions.
Ain't she cute? I just got the biggest crush on my wife. All right, well, let's call it a show.
All right.
I appreciate you joining us for this small video. I'll try to attach it tomorrow when I do my show, but if you just happen to see it on Facebook, remember, if you go to Rumble or YouTube on your television, you can type in Cubby Jaxon, Jaxon, and the show will pop right up. If you have any questions and you don't have my phone number, you can email me at cubbyjaxon, one word, @gmail.com. And please, for the love of Jesus, go onto some of our platforms and subscribe and like. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Rumble, which is my favorite site. Dan Bongino is actually part owner of that, and the Tucker Carlson Network started up recently, so that's a pretty good thing to go check out too. You can't subscribe, but you can get basic information on the X platform. Just remember to be kind one another. God bless, and have a beautiful, beautiful holiday.